Those red tow hooks aren't styling, they're a capability statement, and the truck behind them is engineered to back it up. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the Night Recon's most important number has nothing to do with horsepower, and why that number changes the off-road conversation in the mid-size segment entirely. There's one exterior element on this truck that determines where it can actually go versus where it can only appear to go in a photo shoot. I'll get to it. And is the Colorado HD Night Recon worth its premium over a standard ZR2 or a Ranger Raptor? My answer depends on how you actually use a truck off-road. We're covering the interior, the exterior, and the powertrain. And the origin of the Night Recon brief? It reportedly didn't start in a design studio. It started on a specific trail section in Moab and a comparison between two trucks on the same obstacle that produced a very uncomfortable number for Chevrolet's product team. Here's what matters most in an off-road truck, and it's not the horsepower and it's not the wheel travel. It's the front approach angle. That number, measured from the tire contact point to the lowest point of the front bumper, determines what obstacles you can physically clear versus what you can only drive toward. The production Colorado ZR2 achieves approximately 31 degrees, genuinely competitive. The Night Recon's HD suspension geometry reportedly approaches 38 degrees. That 7-degree difference sounds abstract until you're on a trail with a rock ledge in front of you, at which point it becomes the entire conversation. Getting there required specific geometry changes. The front coilover perch mounts are relocated to allow additional wheel travel without the CV axles reaching their angular operating limit. The CV joints specify a wider operating angle that prevents driveline binding before the wheel reaches full articulation. My opinion, approach angle is the most honest metric in off-road trucks. It can't be inflated by marketing language. The Night Recon's number makes the Tacoma TRD Pro's case considerably harder to defend. Speculative tech number 1, terrain reading adaptive dampers. The Night Recon's coilover dampers use magnetorheological fluid that changes viscosity in response to electrical current. Forward-facing LiDAR maps terrain up to 15 feet ahead and adjusts each corner's damper stiffness individually in real time before the wheel contacts the surface. On rough terrain at moderate speed, this eliminates the body pitch that forces drivers to slow down prematurely. The truck maintains traction longer because the wheel follows the terrain rather than the terrain forcing the wheel. The suspension engineering makes the capability case. The interior built around it is where the Night Recon makes a case no production Colorado has made before. The interior of the Night Recon presents something no production Colorado has offered before, a cabin that can reasonably be called premium without apology. The large portrait orientation touchscreen is the most significant departure from the current Colorado's interior architecture. The vertical format prioritizes the menu hierarchy that off-road control systems actually use: terrain mode selection, differential lock status, tire pressure by wheel, which are logically organized in vertical categories, not horizontal. Putting these functions on a landscape display forces either scrolling or a cramped interface. The portrait layout resolves that without any added interaction steps. The blue LED ambient lighting running through the carbon fiber door panel isn't a styling choice, and that's important to establish clearly. Research on human visual performance in low light conditions shows blue-tinted cabin lighting preserves dark adaptation better than amber or white. For a driver running trail conditions at dawn or dusk, that means reduced eye adjustment time when scanning between the dark cabin interior and bright terrain outside. The Night Recon is named for a reason. Speculative tech number 2, trail mode cockpit simplification. When the Night Recon enters trail mode, the portrait screen suppresses non-essential content and displays only 4 data points: axle articulation angle, individual tire pressure, differential lock status, and throttle brake balance. The engineering rationale comes from aviation glass cockpit philosophy. Information density is managed by operating phase, not left constant. A screen showing 4 numbers in technical terrain is operationally more valuable than one showing everything. Where I think the execution still needs development, the front seat design, while genuinely more premium than any current production Colorado, doesn't yet deliver the lateral support that confident technical driving requires. On loose terrain at meaningful speed, you want the seat holding you, not your arms bracing you. These seats are better than what this platform has traditionally offered. They're not yet where the truck's capability level warrants. The cabin makes a case for being taken seriously as a trail vehicle. The exterior section is where the approach angle story becomes visible from the outside and where the backstory completes. Here's what I can tell you now. The Night Recon brief reportedly didn't come from a design studio. It came from a specific trail comparison at Moab between a Colorado ZR2 and a Tacoma TRD Pro on the same obstacle. And the number that was uncomfortable for Chevrolet's product team was the approach angle. Everything since then has been an engineering response to that specific measurement. The full blackout treatment on the Night Recon is a practical off-road decision. Dark trim eliminates reflective chrome that creates glare on approach to obstacles and in low-light trail conditions. Every element that's been blacked out would have produced a light source in exactly the viewing angle where trail operators need clear contrast between the truck and the terrain ahead. The red tow hooks mark the two primary structural recovery points and remain visible to a recovery team at 40 feet in low-light conditions. Red on black reads clearly in the dark. Chrome on gray does not. The wide black fender flares are the physical consequence of the HD suspension's wider track geometry, not styling additions. The wider track provides the lateral stability the Night Recon's off-road capability brief demanded. Estimated overall length, approximately 212 inches crew cab short box on a 128-inch wheelbase. Ground clearance at approximately 11 inches with the HD lift package. This exterior holds because every blackout element is functionally justified. None of it is visual identity for its own sake. The exterior makes its functional argument. The powertrain has to back it up. The Colorado's 2.7-liter turbocharged four-cylinder in standard ZR2 trim produces 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. The Night Recon's HD configuration reportedly pushes output above 340 horsepower with torque approaching 470 pound-feet. Context: the Tacoma TRD Pro's iForce Max Hybrid produces 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, requiring a hybrid motor to get there. The Night Recon reportedly matches or exceeds both numbers from a turbocharged combustion engine alone. For anyone who's driven the Tacoma TRD Pro, the Night Recon's throttle response will feel notably more direct because turbocharged combustion response without hybrid motor latency is a genuinely different experience in trail conditions. Speculative tech number 3, predictive torque bias. The electronic front differential is managed by an algorithm reading steering angle, throttle input, and individual wheel speeds simultaneously. Rather than locking reactively when wheel spin is detected, the system pre-biases torque to the wheel with the most traction approximately 0.3 seconds before the driver's throttle input would produce spin. Reactive lockers correct after the spin begins. Predictive bias prevents the spin from beginning, which preserves momentum on loose surfaces where that 0.3 seconds is the difference between clearing an obstacle and losing traction mid-attempt. The powertrain and suspension case is made. Whether the pricing justifies it is where the Night Recon argument either earns its name or doesn't. Now, here's what I actually think, and I'll be completely straight with you. The Night Recon's approach angle closes the most specific argument that Tacoma TRD Pro has been winning for years. Where a truck can actually go, not where it looks like it could go in a brochure photo. That's the answer to the question I raised at the open. And the powertrain confirms that the capability claim has an engine behind it. Pricing for the Colorado HD Night Recon is expected to land between $58,000 and $72,000 fully configured, above the Colorado ZR2 Bison's current $52,000 to $56,000 range, and directly competing against the Ford Ranger Raptor at $55,000 to $62,000 and the Tacoma TRD Pro at $58,000 to $65,000. Now, a lot of experienced off-road buyers will push back on that pricing, and honestly, they've got a point. The Colorado has never commanded a premium at this level before. The argument for it requires believing the approach angle improvement and HD suspension geometry justify the delta over a standard ZR2. My read? They do if you actually run technical terrain where approach angle becomes your limiting factor. If your off-road use is primarily graded fire roads, the standard ZR2 saves you $15,000 and covers 90% of the capability. On depreciation, the Colorado has held value well in the used market, and specialty off-road trims from GM have tracked above segment averages. Here's the call. If you're a trail runner who has felt the approach angle on your current truck become the constraint on technical obstacles, the Night Recon was built for that specific problem. If your off-road use is moderate and your towing needs are light, a standard Colorado ZR2 delivers most of the experience at a more defensible price. Know your terrain before you sign. At the open, I said those red tow hooks were a capability statement. Having walked the full picture, approach angle geometry, trail mode cockpit, predictive torque bias, they're the simplest shorthand for everything this truck is actually built to do. I genuinely love your take, especially if you've run technical trails in a Colorado ZR2 or a Tacoma TRD. Drop it below. If you want to see the Night Recon against the Ranger Raptor directly, that video's right here. If this kind of real, no-nonsense automotive analysis is what you're looking for, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.